Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I am coming to you today from Kitsap County, Washington, and this is my second take. Hi. I am a recovering non-knitter, I guess. Recovering knit. Yeah, no, that's fine. See, that's what I do when I make mistakes. I'm like, bleh, and then I go, okay, I'm just going to leave that one so you guys know how I really am and how much I really actually am not good at this. Hi, I'm Rebecca, 41 and a half years old. I live in Kitsap County, Washington, with my dog and my 4 kids still at home and my boyfriend. And that's it. And my yarn. I feel like I have enough that it can count as a person. Hi. So this vlog is usually about knitting, but it's not today or any other day because I've been kind of crocheting. I talked about that in my last vlog. And I have made more hexagons. Probably made this one last time you guys saw this. I haven't woven in my ends, but I will because I'm not going to do a million hexagrams and then not... I'm not going to do that. That's just too much to have hanging off and be like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's not fine. Unless you do it and you enjoy that. That's fine too. Live your best life. So I'm making these just as a recap because my great-grandmother crocheted a blanket and I love it and I miss her. And she did hers in a mitered crochet square, and she did all of the centers in a mustard, and she did the outside of all of the squares blue. I don't like making mitered squares, sorry grandma, so this is inspired by instead of a replica. Okay, so I've knit a couple more, crocheted a couple more, and you can see that I have done a few. They all have the mustard and the blue. I started attaching them just to see how that would go and how I would do it. I don't know how to do that apparently. I didn't look it up. I just kind of was like, I could probably figure it out. I can't. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Like with the large braid going down. I feel like this side is the better side, or I could look up how to do it. I could do that. I haven't done that yet, but I feel like that might be a really good choice. Something I ran into is that I've never seamed a bunch of pieces together, and there's going to be a lot of these. I was kind of hoping I could seam it as I go, but now I'm kind of worried like that if I seam it as I go, I'm going to have shorter strands of yarn and it won't be as durable. Maybe I could just like take the blue skein, just pretend this is blue, okay, and then have one skein that I just work from and never cut it and just always have it hanging off the seams together project. Maybe I could do that instead of like cutting it all the time, because it's not like I would be actively crocheting on this giant quilt anyway. I don't know what to call Afghan. It's not like I would be crocheting on it anyway. I would just be putting together the pieces. The other thing I'm running into is that because I haven't finished all of the squares, I'm really worried that I'm going to accidentally have too much of one color in one section. Like you can see right now, I'm going to undo this connection thing, but there's like 2 things of pink, and I'm worried that if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up with a lot of pink together, and then it would look weird. Like if I had a bunch of pink in one corner and then never again, that would be weird. So I have these 3 done. I haven't worked on this in a couple days actually. These 3 done right here that are temporarily connected. And then I have this one going on, and I'm going to talk more about these too. And this one, because there's things I didn't say. And this one, which is my least favorite, because I don't really like primary colors together. I just don't. It's not my thing, but I probably won't make any more that look like this. But this is, and it's hard because I also don't really want to do sunflower. But there's only so many color combinations you can do, right? My great-grandma's had a lot of variegated yarn in it, so I might go try to get that and then do that. I'm using the Joanne Fabrics Big Twist and also some Red Heart that I already had because I'm balling on a budget and I already have it. So why wouldn't I, obviously? The nice thing about these, I'm going to put the pattern below. I did last time too, because I don't remember what it's called. The nice thing about these is that I don't get bored making them because I shouldn't say maybe. the inside is double crochet, and then this row is another type of stitch, and then this one is another type of stitch, and then this one is another type of stitch, and then you do the border. And so every round you're doing something a little different, just a little bit different. And yeah, and it goes quick, so it's not like you're doing something different for like a million years. You're just doing something really quick and different. It's not hard. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to remember where you are. I'm using a size H crochet hook for this, and they're turning out pretty big. I can usually crank out 2 a day because I'm doing other things with my life too. I can usually put out 2 a day if I'm actually sitting down working on it. And yeah, so let's see. I don't want to go into my health issues again right now, but I'm going to put that at the end. And so I've been in bed because my C. diff has relapsed, which is fine. So I have been sitting here sick, and so I took the time to read a book. I put my phone down for the first time in years, and I read a book. I finished it in a day because it was really short. This is going to be backwards, but I read The Happiest Man on Earth. It's the beautiful life of an Auschwitz survivor. It's about a guy who is in concentration camps in World War II. It's a true story. Like, that's actually him. And is it a true story? I don't know. It's a little unbelievable in parts, I'm just going to say. Okay. He has a best friend, and if you've seen A Beautiful Mind, I'm not trying to like be flippant about his life, but okay, if you've seen A Beautiful Mind, you remember the roommate situation. He has a best friend that the situation kind of reminds me of the roommate situation there. I'm just saying, okay? A lot of it is a lot of really unbelievable coincidences happen to this guy while he's in concentration camps. There's many, okay? I'm not trying to spoil the book for you, but the title basically gives it away. So, The Happiest Man on Earth, The Beautiful Life of an Auschwitz Survivor. It's about a guy who's in concentration camps, and he gets out, and he decides that when he gets out, he is going to become the happiest man on earth, I guess, which is pretty inspiring, right? Because he decided to let go of all that pain, which is hard to imagine, but people are really resilient. So I read this. I don't really love Holocaust books. My mom loves Holocaust books, and she's always like, oh, you gotta read this, you gotta read this, you gotta read this. And so I do sometimes not, because they're really sad. I don't really recommend this, genuinely. I don't really think it was very good. I feel like the title's a little misleading, because The Happiest Man on Earth, I was really looking forward to him talking a lot about his life afterward, and how his decision to become the happiest man on earth impacted him, and the things that he did to keep that perspective. And I didn't really feel like there was very much. The vast majority of the book is about his life in concentration camps, and then the last like couple pages are about his life afterward. So sorry if I spoiled the book and you were going to read it. I don't know. I wouldn't read it again. I was kind of sad at the end. I mean, the whole thing is sad, right? But none of that was meant to sound flippant. Okay, it really wasn't, because I'm not a Holocaust denier at all. It was really sad, and it's tragic, and it's awful. The amount of what people are capable of towards other people is just horrific. I don't really love Holocaust books, and here's why. This might be a controversial opinion. Here you go. I think that a lot of people think that it's like really important to really understand the depth and gravity of what happened in the Holocaust. And while I think that is a very valid opinion, there's also those same people often tend to think that it's really very important that we learn about the horrors of the Rwandan genocide, and also genocides everywhere, and also every tragedy that's ever happened to mankind. Like, it's important to understand and empathize with these survivors. And while I do feel like those stories need to be told, I feel like as an empathetic person, I can't take on the struggles of the world. Okay? This is controversial, probably. This guy went through some really horrible things, and I cried and I felt sick, and I don't enjoy reading about other people's pain, but it was awful. And I just was trying to get to the end where he was happy, which was a letdown. He wasn't in the Rwandan genocide, and he wasn't. The Rwandan genocide is something I actually read about a lot and know a lot about. I can't take on the pain of the entire world. I just can't. This guy didn't live through everything, and I feel like nobody would expect him to become an expert on the Rwandan genocide, obviously, because he went through enough, right? And so I don't feel the need to just take all that on. My mom, sorry mom, throwing you under the bus if you read these, also recommended me this book, Soil Doves, Prostitution in the Early West. And I was like, this kind of looks miserable. And she was like, oh yeah, you know, wait till you get to the Chinese slave girls. Look, I'm sure that was horrible. It sounds awful. It sounds horrific, actually. But how much pain do I have to absorb? I don't need the entirety of humanity's misery. I don't need that depth of understanding and the empathy, and I don't want to spend my life doing that. It sounds horrible. What else did she? Oh, she actually gave me an inspiring book, Once Upon a Town, about after September 11th, I think, and then a whole town came together for people who were on a plane or something. And it seems like it's a pretty short book, even though it's thick, because it's small and the writing is pretty big, as I show you letters that are tiny, like the letters that were written. So yeah, the writing's pretty big. I haven't started it yet, but she gave them to me, and I feel like when somebody gives you a book, or 3 at the same time, it's kind of like friend homework. You know what I mean? Now I feel obligated to read it. You know, like when people send you videos, like Reels or TikToks, and then you like feel obligated to watch them, and it's like friend homework? That's what books are, except they're very, very, very long assignments. I'm probably not going to read the Soil Dove one, because I just got done with a lot of misery. There's actually a Holocaust book that I read, and I wish I had it here. It's probably on my Kindle. If I remember, I will recommend it, because it genuinely was mostly about making the choice to move past things that are miserable and things that are horrible in your life, and the amount of like trauma that people go through, and what's crazy about the book. And one of the books is called The Choice. She's got 2. The Choice. And it's about, she never minimizes anybody else's trauma. She became like a psychiatrist, therapist. She never minimizes anybody's trauma, and she talks about making the choice to move on and creating a beautiful life for yourself. And it's very, very little about what actually happened, although that is there, but it's not gruesome. And so I think there's a lot that can be learned from the survival afterward. That's something about the Rwandan genocide that's so interesting to me, is the after effects, and how that whole country was able to like forgive. Because I don't know if I could. And so it's fascinating that the human ability to not only be horrible, but to move past and recover from atrocities. And I'm not saying you should go read about the Rwandan genocide. You probably have your own thing that you're like, you know, oh, I really need to understand this. But yeah, no, the point of that was I don't feel the need to deeply understand every single tragedy in the world. I just don't, okay? I don't have that much time to sit around and be miserable, and I have my own problems. That sounded really like flippant, and it's not. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be flippant. I'm not trying to be flippant. It's that the gravity of it all is so much. You know what I mean? If I was being flippant, I'd be like, yeah, here's a book. The guy's fine. It worked out. So it's not about that. It's about absorbing the gravity, and people might not agree with that, and that's totally fine. Maybe you like books like that, and if that brings value to your life in some way, then I fully support that, just like my mom reads those kinds of books. That's her thing, is like World War II. Loves World War II. Not loves World War II, who does, but it's just like people have different interests in non-fiction things they like to read, or like to have a deeper understanding of, I guess. All right, this is going well. Anyway, The Happiest Man on Earth. I guess if you like reading books about the Holocaust and you want to learn a lot about every perspective and people that were there, then you should read it. But if you're looking for something that is like The Happiest Man on Earth and thinking that you're going to read about a man being happy, just skip to the last 2 chapters. They're short chapters too. Right. Anyway, okay, so let's see. Health problems. Ha! My C. diff has relapsed, which is fun. I have a doctor appointment soon. Virtual, thank God. And that's cool and fun and exciting because now I have to spend all this time in my house. Again, I've been in my house all summer long because I haven't been able to leave because I have C. diff, except for to go to doctor appointments and the hospital. And I spent a lot of time doing fun stuff this weekend when I was still fine, which was good. And I feel like I really enjoyed the time that I had being healthy and being really grateful for that. I got a haircut. I took myself out to lunch. I went out to lunch and dinner with my boyfriend. We went to our little town festival and had fun there. We did a lot of really fun things. We went to, oh my gosh, I should have brought it. I'll bring it next time. So you guys, if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I have a rooster bathroom and it's ridiculous. It's on my Instagram if you haven't seen it. It's over the top ridiculous. But I found out that it's not cool anymore. It's not funny anymore. So I decided that I'm going to redo it. And I wish I brought it. So I had to come up with a new theme, and I went through a million themes, and I think I had a lot of really good ones, but I had all these ideas. And so I went to the Goodwill to figure out what I needed because I'm all about going to the Goodwill to decorate this stuff because it's all ridiculous and I don't want to spend a ton of money. So I went there and I found this giant like canvas of someone else's wedding, which is so funny to me because why would you donate that to the Goodwill? You either got divorced or you really didn't like the people who gave it to you and you're like, I don't need this anymore. But like, why would somebody buy that? Why would somebody buy someone else's wedding? I would. And so my bathroom is going to be somebody else's wedding themed, which I think is really funny. I have all kinds of ideas. I can't wait to start and share it with everybody. So obviously I bought this picture for like $6 because who would buy that? Goodwill was probably like, okay, we're going to just cast this out there and see what happens, but it's going in the garbage. So dumb. And the picture's dated 2003, December 2003. So these people did not last long. It came from my local Goodwill, so I can't wait to put this bathroom together and then start posting the photo in my local groups to see if anybody knows who it was, and maybe cause some family drama, like maybe their mom gave it away. Not my problem. But I feel like, can you imagine giving away your wedding photo to the Goodwill and then somebody uses it to decorate their bathroom? I didn't steal it from them, man. It's not my fault. Give stuff to the Goodwill. It's theirs. They can do whatever they want with it, right? I own it now. I have a lot of great ideas. I think it's going to be beautiful too. Like, I think that it's going to be like over the top, like flowery, because weddings are flowery. And there's going to be some invitations and some art prints. Yeah, no, I think it's really great. It's going to be really fun. And if it's not, I'll just repaint it and pretend it never happened. I'll delete all the Instagram and delete this video and we'll just all forget that it happened. So in the meantime, I think I've been looking for knitting patterns that I want to make. There's a new one by Wool and Pine and it's like a Fair Isle, it's solid, but then it has Fair Isle sleeves and a Fair Isle pocket in the front, which I wouldn't do. I'll link it down below. It's probably really popular. You probably already saw it because I'm way behind on things. But it's DK weight. And I don't have DK weight, okay? I live in America and we have worsted and fingering and that's it. Okay, all right. DK is really expensive over here, okay? I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of money. Stephen West, Mystery Knit Along. I'm gonna start working on that too. Maybe I should just focus on that. Because I did find out that he is planning on doing one this year. And I am hopeful that the last one was so full of drama that there's no more knitting drama that can ever be had because that was the pinnacle, right? And so I'm really excited about this next one because it can't be that bad. I have a huge gift card to Eat Sleep Knit that I got for Christmas. And I've been wondering what I'm going to do with it, but now that he's doing that confirmed, I'm going to probably use that, which is what I always do. I save those. I'm really excited, so if you're doing it, let me know. If you're doing something exciting with your knitting, let me know and then send me a picture on Instagram because I genuinely want to see it. My Instagram is HeyIt'sRebecca with an H at the end. I will put it down below. And we can be friends. If you follow me, I will follow you back. If you're crafty, if you are a spammer, probably not. Okay? Or if you're not crafty and you're just like, hey, I don't craft anything, but for some reason I'm drawn to you. No, that's creepy, okay? You have to be a knitter or a crocheter and I'll follow you unless you don't want me to. Sometimes I feel weird about like requesting people who have private accounts. So if you have a private account and I want to follow you and you don't want me to, just don't accept it, I guess. Hi. Okay, we're at 20 minutes. Last time this took me like 16 hours to upload, so hopefully it's not that bad. Although it was 40 minutes, I think. Okay, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. If I didn't, I'll make another video. Yeah, hopefully I remember all the things I was going to talk about. Let's see, the wedding photo. Remind me, what was the thing I said I was going to show you? Because I don't remember and I don't watch these back. I don't know. Okay, let me know if you remember. If you just watched this and it's fresh in your brain, because it's obviously not mine, let me know. Okay, I will talk to you guys later, and yeah, so have a good one. Make all the things. I don't like that phrase. That is another story. People use it all the time. I just don't personally, you know what? People don't like saying things. I don't like saying that. Knit a bunch of stuff. Knit what makes you happy. Crochet what makes you happy. Live your best life, man. Live your best life. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.